Welcome to this edition of One on One. My guest today is Julia Scaparotti, the newly crowned Miss Massachusetts USA. In addition to competing in pageants, Julia is a former cheerleader for the New England Patriots. Her passion also lies in her charity work at Miss Pink organization. She's here to talk to us about her experiences in pageantry as well as her work with Miss Pink. Welcome to the show, Julia.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So first of all, I just want to say congratulations on being crowned Miss Massachusetts USA. That's so exciting. How did that feel when they announced it?
When I was crowned in that moment, my whole family was in the audience and my friends, and it was so awesome just to kind of have that support.
Yeah.
Because I did black out when I was on stage and when I got crowned. I blacked out a little bit.
I can imagine, yeah.
Had the total like pageant moment, like Miss Congeniality when you're like on crowning and they're like.
Definitely, it seems surreal.
That's what happened.
Yeah. So I know that you've competed 3 times for Miss Massachusetts USA. Mm-hmm. Did you ever feel like you just wanted to give up on all of this?
No. So I actually competed 2 years in a row, and then I took a year off. So last year I didn't compete, and a lot of people were kind of upset with me because they thought that I was never going to compete again, which that wasn't it at all. Like
You weren't giving up.
I wasn't giving up. I just needed some time off and focus on other like aspirations in my life, and kind of, as you said earlier, I was a New England Patriots cheerleader, so I really wanted to focus on that.
Right.
Where I had many years to compete, but you know, I would have competed again and again if it took me 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. This has always been a dream of mine, so I never would have given up.
Could you talk a little bit about sort of your routine before the pageants?
Yeah, so fitness and nutrition is something that I'm so happy I learned through pageants, because that's something I'm going to have for the rest of my life, on how to eat healthy and how to stay healthy.
Right.
And at the end of the day, pageant girls are athletes. Like, I always say that we're almost like Olympians, right? Because we're competing at a national pageant. That's the biggest.
Absolutely.
I went to the Super Bowl as a Patriots cheerleader, but going to Miss USA is the Super Bowl of pageants. It's
right, that's such an interesting comparison.
Yeah, in the same year, right?
Wow, yeah. Now that you are in the public eye, is there a specific cause that you're really passionate about, or an organization? I know you're passionate about Miss Pink. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I've been volunteering for the Miss Pink organization for probably about 4 or 5 years now. A former Miss Maine contestant who never won, she was always first runner-up, Ashley Schultz, started the Miss Pink organization.
Okay.
So she's a pageant girl. And what it is, it's a local Boston nonprofit that raises money for breast cancer survivors. So the Miss Pink pageant is the biggest event that they throw on every single year, and it gives an opportunity for women to not compete like a pageant, but it's very similar to a pageant where they get to celebrate, you know, their story. So they kind of have the opportunity to tell their story of survival, and there's not a dry eye in the room. And what I love about the Miss Pink organization is it's about celebrating the women and really kind of women empowerment, which is another reason why I love pageantry too. So it kind of just coincides.
Right. I really can't think of a more important cause to be spending your time, working on. I know that your mother is a cancer survivor.
Yeah.
How has that influenced your work at Miss Pink?
Yeah. So I actually was volunteering for Miss Pink before my mother was ever diagnosed with cancer, and kind of hit home a little bit more, and it made me more passionate and made me want to, raise more money for the organization and kind of get the awareness out there. And as Miss Massachusetts USA and going to a national stage, I hope that the Miss Pink organization just grows and gains more awareness.
So switching gears a little bit, I'm wondering, I'm sure that you've encountered people who've treated you as this stereotype.
Yeah.
Whatever that might be, as a typical pageant girl, whatever it is. How do you respond to that? And also, what would you want to say to those people?
The biggest stereotype out there about pageant girls is that we only care about what we look like, and that we're very superficial. And every woman that I've ever met competing in pageantry, it's not even close. Like, these women, I even said, I won the Miss Massachusetts title, but a lot of the women that I competed against, they were so inspiring, whether, they were doctors and they were, lawyers, or they had this great career, or they were fighting cancer, or they had some traumatic thing happen in their life that they're kind of
this is something that viewers can't possibly know.
Right. Yeah. And I get it, because we're on stage and we're very glamorous, but I think what I love about pageantry and being in a swimsuit in heels on stage in front of people is very empowering.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're up there and you're saying you're confident. You're saying this is me. You either like me or you don't.
I'm with you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So just to sort of wrap up, what is a piece of advice that you'd give to young people today trying to find their voices in the world or to achieve their dreams as you did?
I've heard the word no way more times than I've heard the word yes. Believe it or not, like, to be a pageant girl, you're going to hear, you know, one girl wins, right? It took me 3 times to win the title. At Miss USA, you know, only one girl's going to hear yes. I might hear the word no. I might not become Miss USA, and I'm okay with that. But you got to go for it. If it's something you want, give it your all and just do it. And you'll be, no matter what happens in the end, you'll be proud of yourself and you'll learn from it. So.
That's a great piece of advice. Miss USA is May 14th on Fox.
Yeah.
So I'll be watching you. I'm sure we're all
You'll have to vote. I'm not sure.
How do I vote?
So they haven't fully announced it, but in past years, it's either been on Twitter with a hashtag or it's been on, you know, you download an app and you do some code or something.
Okay,
but
there
will be voting. So tell everyone at BU to vote for Miss
Everyone vote. Vote for Julia.
Please.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
This has been another edition of BU TV10's One-on-One. I'm Robin Sklar. Thanks for watching. All right. Thank you so much. That was so much.